The information, opinions, and recommendations presented in this podcast are for general information only. Any reliance on the information provided in this podcast is done at your own risk.
Hey everybody, this is Miley.
And this is Porby.
And you're listening to That's What We Said, a podcast where we offer our insight on a variety of topics that touch our lives and probably yours on a daily basis. So, this is episode 20.
What?
20.
Took us a long time to get here.
I know.
But we got here.
And I would like to break up on air.
I don't think you want to leave me. You'd go through this depressive state, and then I'd never be able to pull you back out of it.
I'm going to be like walking on walls. Mama. 20 episodes. Did you really think we were going to get to 20?
I didn't even think we were going to get past the first 5. I was skeptical. I'm not going to lie.
Bitch. So finally in episode 20, we got our act together with sound quality. Mm-hmm. How has your life changed since we started our podcast? Me first, in no way.
Not yet. You know when it'll change? When Ellen calls us on stage.
When Ellen is doing her opening monologue and she says, and today I would like to welcome our special guests. They are great podcasters, Porby and Miley. Has your life changed since the announcement of Justin Bieber's engagement to Hailey Baldwin?
You know what? I can't keep up with these celebrities. Sometimes I just got too much money.
You know, my girlfriend called me and she was like, oh my God, my boo is engaged. By Justin Bieber. He could be her son.
It's kind of weird. It's like that Clay Aikens situation when he was American Idol, and all these elderly ladies were like going to his concerts. And I was like,
oh, that was so funny.
That boy gay, right?
Nothing's wrong with gay.
Nothing wrong with gay.
But all these older ladies, that's like
like older, not like 40s, because that's not really old, bitches. But more like in the Miley age, like 50s.
Hello, I got 1 year in my 40s. I'm still considered in my 40s, bitch.
You're still a MILF.
Yeah.
A mother I'd like to have fun with.
But mother I like to fun. A MILF.
I'd like to fun.
Hey, this is a family-friendly... No, it's not.
Mother I'd like to make fudge with.
This is not a family-friendly podcast. We know that.
It isn't. My nephew listens to it now, and he's 21, so we have to be careful.
What? How you have a nephew that's 21?
Oh, my cousin's kid.
Oh, how funny.
So I'm like, you can't listen to episode this, and this.
Oh, my God. Well, no, for real, though. For the episode. I think when we first talked about having this podcast, I thought you'd be a perfect candidate to have a podcast with. Because when we talked, we vibed off each other, right?
Yeah, you like me.
So then, no, I don't like you.
Yeah, you do.
We just vibe together. Yeah. But... I thought we would just go week in, week out, and start talking about whatever was burning in our psyches that particular week. But as we got further and further into our recording, and then we got actually more than one listener, it started to get a little bit more difficult to think of topics. Right?
Yeah, I think the hardest part is thinking about topics, like topics that people want to hear about. You don't want to continuously talk about relationships.
Because then we would be a relationship podcast, and that's not what we're trying to be.
Right, and we don't want to bring down the vibes. We can't talk about death, which is something I wanted to talk about with you, Miley. Death.
Because I want to kill you. That's funny, because I want to kill you.
Miley has sent me some death threats.
When you look at me, it's with that look of death.
It's just my bitch face.
Yeah, exactly. Don't try to tell me all this stuff about it's just your bitch face. That ain't no excuse, girl. I don't like it. I want to retire your... I want to put it to death.
I think what's going on right now in the world is all this
hate,
ethnic hate.
Well, do you think it's always been there? It's just kind of been.
I don't believe it. It has always been there, but I think it's been poked a lot more.
Yeah.
It's like the bandwagon situation. Everybody's getting on these bandwagons.
No, I agree.
Dude, I just read this morning that a 91-year-old Mexican man was beaten with a brick because
he was Mexican?
He was Mexican, and this white lady was like, go back to your country. Dude, the guy's 91 years old. Let him live out the rest of his days.
How old were the
people? They're still looking for them. I'm assuming they're under the age of 30s or 40s. I don't remember where, but it was local.
What is wrong with these people?
But come on. I think it's like everybody's getting on the bandwagon because it's like the coolest thing to do right now is to be a prejudice, or
is that
racist.
Cool? Because that is not cool.
It's definitely not
sorry.
cool, but people are doing it. I think people are like oh yeah, this is our country. You're taking away our jobs, and people are getting fed this bullshit, and they're eating it up. You know,
From
like
the top.
Mm-hmm. And
So,
originally, I mean, I think a
girl.
little bit of racism was always there for
always.
sure. But I think
Yeah.
since this whole border thing and all this random shit, it's increased immensely.
Yeah, that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like thinking about that. Can we just wake up one day and it'll be normal?
You know, I think if we wake up one day and the Trump administration is gone and like an Obama administration is back, then maybe we can go back to the way it was. But that is so far.
No, and then plus there's
Us.
people who don't. 100% of the people aren't always happy 100% of the time. Because
No,
for me, I would feel like, ooh, let's go all the way back to the Clinton administration.
Mm.
But you know, people probably had problems with the Clinton administration.
but
they
I
had
think-
problems with the Obama
But I think-
administration.
I think
It's just worse now. It feels, my
It-
opinion.
Yeah, it is a lot worse
Yeah.
because I was actually thinking about this, and I know a lot of people are gonna hate me on it and whatever. This is just my thoughts.
I hate you, period. So it's okay.
Oh yeah, see, but I think this whole year that Trump has been in office, he's
More than a
only
year.
reversed everything Obama's done, but he's not done anything new
I
to
know.
help the people. He's only reversed everything that Obama's
Yeah.
touched, and I think
Yeah.
that's like the dumbest thing. He's like he wants to go into office just to reverse everything that's been done, been touched
Well, isn't
by
that
Obama.
what most people do? Isn't
No,
that what most people
They don't.
do?
They reverse
Most
it.
parties?
Some of the things that they don't agree with, not everything, even though it makes sense.
Yeah.
He's still reversing things that make sense,
know.
only because Obama touched it, and that shows pure racist and prejudiced president, and making it okay for the rest of the country to be that way.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of fearful for myself too, because even though I'm naturalized, I'm at risk too,
No, I know.
right?
Yeah, no, it's
Or
true.
like every day I walk to work and I'm always thinking some random jerk's probably gonna try to run me over.
Yeah,
You know, every day I think that when I'm crossing the street. Yeah, probably
me,
Miley.
random jerk.
Random jerk Miley. You guys, if I'm ran over, it's probably Miley.
Look out for me. I would be the one.
It's a
But
mama
I
with
don't
a
want-
big ass van.
And I got a big ass minivan.
Yes.
It's a mom van. No, but I don't want to talk about politics, but it is sad though.
It is sad.
It is sad.
Yeah.
Like we can't help it. If we're going to talk about things that are impacting us on a day-to-day basis, it really, I mean, politics, yes, for sure. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. You
Well,
guys
how's
tell
your-
us what you want to talk about.
How's your mom doing?
My mom is doing better. She's been moved out of the burn unit, so she's doing great. And my mom, she was like hellfire. Like sometimes when I was there, I was like, "Oh my God,
She was just
I'm
on
not
drugs. a
I'm
lot?
not her daughter." Well, it's hard. She's 87 years old, right? And then she's all up in there and not being able to really move. And
87
not
is
being-
old.
right?
Yeah.
This nurse said she liked my mama's eyebrows because way back in the day, my mom got them tattooed.
Nice.
It's so funny. And I was helping taking care of my mom. I'm like, oh yeah, her eyebrows are nice.
They're
They're tattooed though, so they're kind of gray.
Is that really how you say tattoo?
That's how I say it because I'm from Australia. Tattooed.
You're definitely not Australian.
Good day, mate.
Good eye.
But yeah, so my mom is doing good. How are your mom and dad?
They're doing
They're
good.
doing
Yeah,
good.
same old. You know, I went to go see my aunt. She's visiting from India. And I love how to see,
Aw.
like, my mom.
Wait, stop. Your aunt meaning
My
your
mom's
mom's sister?
My mom's sister, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
And they're like BFFs. So when I look at my
they're
aunt,
so cute.
yeah, they're super cute.
Probably so cute.
They FaceTime with each other. My sister and I don't even FaceTime. My sister and I look at each other like, I want to see you.
They
You're a
know how to
mess."
FaceTime with
They
each other?
do. They're so cute.
Oh, that's the cutest
They're
thing.
the cutest thing.
Oh.
No, they're identical. They're like 3 years apart, but they sound and act and talk to their husbands in a very identical
Oh,
manner.
that's
And their
so
husbands'
cute.
personalities are both my dad and my uncle's personalities are
Are this-
very identical too.
Oh, that's so funny.
So they're both bitching about their husbands all the time.
And they're
It's
just,
hilarious.
do their husbands know?
Yeah,
Oh, they're so
they
cute.
do it in front of them.
When are we going to meet your
Sometimes.
mom? Let's get your mom. We need to have our first guest.
We do, but my mom barely speaks English and she barely likes you.
Oh, she don't even know me.
She does not know you.
That's mean, Mama Porby.
So yeah, Miley's been like a real low bummer the last couple weeks.
I have
you have not
been.
been fun. I must admit it. She's going through a lot. You know, I thought about this podcast today, and I was like, "What are we going to talk about?"
You said something about this podcast.
Yeah, and I thought about it. I was like, you know what? For my 20th podcast, I'm going to be nice.
Episode.
Yes,
Yes.
episode. I'm going to be nice, and I'm actually going to say that this podcast is all Miley's work.
Hell to the yes. No, I'm just kidding. No,
'Cause,
that's not
you
true.
know,
That's
it is
not
very true because I was being asked, like, I told a lot of people recently, like, oh, I have my own podcast, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh my God, that's so amazing. It's so hard to do, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, to be honest, I would have
I just talk.
never done it if Miley didn't edit
Oh,
and create our website and
Repeat
create
after me.
iTunes.
Repeat after yourself. To say it again.
I don't remember. I only do one takes.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah, because
I'm
I
all
just,
yeah.
yeah, because honestly, guys, like I just come and I talk
Oh,
the
yeah.
talk,
You
but I
provide-
don't do any other work, and I generally just love talking anyway.
You just bitch at me.
I do bitch at her and be like,
I
Miley,
know it's true.
you're a
it's
week
true.
late.
No, yeah. Sometimes
But,
I am a week late.
But it's okay.
Nope.
I mean, but you put in so much effort.
I
and
love doing it though.
do?
I love doing
That's
it.
good because
That's
editing
why.
is. So I was getting my hair did
Yeah.
this past week, and I
You
was
got a hairdo or hair don't?
I got my hair did.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I got it done this past week, and I was talking to my hairstylist,
Yeah.
and he was just, he was doing his random stuff. He was creating his own YouTube channels and stuff
What?
because he's a really popular. He owns his own salons in the city,
Hmm.
and hashtag Patrick Evans Salon.
Okay.
Really good.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Patrick Evans Salon. Do you want to sponsor us?
Yes, sponsor us. And he's a really techie hair designer, like super into gadgets and stuff. So we're talking, and I'm super into gadgets and stuff.
Yeah.
And I told him I have a podcast and this and that. And he's like, oh, and we were talking about it. And I was like, honestly, like the hardest part about our podcast is the editing and the uploading onto all this, social media sites and onto iTunes and stuff. That's the most time. Like,
That's what he said.
I told him
That's
that.
what you said. Yeah. It does. It takes a
And-
lot of time.
Yeah, it does. And it has to be and we only do one take. So we don't take multiple takes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
one take, and then whatever content we have is what you guys hear.
Exactly. That's why it's
All
not
because
always
of
the
Miley. And I
best.
told him, I'm like, you know what? If it wouldn't have been for my partner in crime, she does all my work. So, Miley, once a year, I'm nice to people, and this
Yeah.
year,
This is. Oh, I
this is
better
my
take
one-time
advantage.
nice.
We're gonna go get a drink after this.
Yes, this is the
Celebrate
one
our
time
time?
I will be nice to you.
No. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I
But,
do
mean,
appreciate you. I appreciate all the work you put into it. I know sometimes I'm like annoying. Like, Miley, it's Saturday. Where's our podcast?
No. I feel bad because we set that expectation that
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna record, once a week, and then we would go live every Wednesday. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been kind of on me. Because it's true, I like doing all this stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
like editing. I like listening to us. I crack up sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and it is just the one take, and we just kind of fix certain things here
Mm-hmm.
and there. But I totally enjoy it. I don't know what this is. That's why I started thinking we need to start our own media company. Let's just start producing a bunch of podcasts.
Mm-hmm. I do want to.
Woohoo, bitch!
That's a lot of editing.
I know.
Editing
I know. I do
sucks.
that the whole. No, I
But you
love it.
So,
I love it.
so
Isn't
that's
that
why
weird?
that's why we're good at this because
N-
because I have my YouTube channel too, and I haven't
Yeah.
done shit to it because I don't like editing.
You know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start editing
Oh
people's
yeah, it's such a.
stuff.
It's actually, and I
It
was talking to
takes
when I
time.
was talking to my hairstylist. He's like, "There's money in editing
Yeah.
because nobody wants to do it." So I was
and
like, "I'm gonna tell
love it.
Miley."
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, you love
I
it. You
love
might be
to
a
do
DJ
it.
in life.
Oh, how do you know I'm not a DJ already?
Listen, you might be.
Wicka, 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 wicka. We sound like a
Sound
seal.
like seals.
I'm a
we're
seal
really bad DJs.
no, but seriously, no, I appreciate that, and I do love it. But we did talk about kind of what we're gonna plan. You are gonna do stuff. I kind of see you as like the face of this podcast. Like you're gonna go, yeah, ho. Like you would go out. Remember, we have plans.
We
Like
have
we know what
plans.
we're gonna do. You're gonna be like the marketer and figure out how we're gonna
Yes.
get money and stuff.
Yes.
And I'll just
We're
be the
gonna do
back
it,
end
yes.
person. So I'm excited. I'm
Mhm.
very excited. I think we definitely have our challenges that we
Mhm.
face. I think sometimes we really trip over like what topics we're going to talk about because again, we want to make sure that it's what our listeners want to hear. But yeah, again, and I think it just kind of morphed a little bit from when we first started. That's why we called it That's What We Said. Whatever we talk about, we're going to talk about it and we're going to put it out there. But I think over the course of all these episodes that we put out, we've heard feedback from other people and they've asked us, they've given us topic suggestions. But I know I trip up sometimes. Yeah, we did. We tripped up the one time.
we
Remember?
tripped up.
We have an episode out there called Perfection and it didn't go live because you poo-pooed
Because
it.
I can't help myself
you
that I'm a
yawned.
perfectionist. I did.
That was the whole... She did yawn. Everybody,
Miley,
she yawned.
Miley was like, "Let's talk about how not to be a perfectionist," and I'm like, "But I don't know how to do that
and
because
that's
I
the
am."
And that's the problem.
That I'm a perfectionist
The first step to...
is acceptance.
yeah.
I don't want to
You've
accept
got
it.
to accept it. That you're not a...
You know, that day was a bad day. I was
Was
tired.
it? Was it a bad day?
I was tired.
No, but it was good. It was, what was good about that day?
Hmm.
Yes, we we did 2 episodes that day, and yeah, you were tired, and you were just not feeling it. At the end, me and Porby went ding ding 12 rounds. But at the end, we were like, cool. Hey, we hugged it out. We're like, okay, hey.
Yeah, because that's my love language, physical touch.
I reject that love language. You know what? Since we're kind of talking about the things we talked about in the past, there was something that one person asked me about after listening to our love languages episode, because we talked about like an incoming and an outgoing love language, and somebody said, "Don't you just have one language that you speak? We could be bilingual." They're kind of saying,
What does
well,
that mean?
don't you just have one love language? For this particular person, she felt like her love language was the acts of service. So for her, that's how she shows her love, and that's how she expects people to give, to show her love. So I was kind of like, well, I guess that is a good point, but I don't know. Because I think, well, mine was words of affirmation, right?
You give and
And-
receive. That's
yeah.
your one thing.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But other people could have too.
Yeah, I have 2, right? Because mine is giving is
Yeah.
act of service. My receiving is physical contact.
Yeah, but then what if somebody does something for you? What if somebody like I buy you a gift?
So yeah, so
Do you
I mean,
think
I
that's
think
me loving you?
Everything spills over into each other, but there's a higher. There's one that's the highest, right? Like
Yeah.
everything kind of spills. Like I love, yeah, give me all the gifts in the world, but at the same time, I want to hug it out. Or somebody can be like, give
You
me
want to go to a
gifts.
jacuzzi?
That's right. Go on jacuzzi. Ooh, ooh,
You want
yeah,
to hug
yeah.
in a jacuzzi?
Juggy.
Ooh, ooh.
That's right. That's our secret. That's my secret.
Hey,
If
hey,
you get invited to my jacuzzi
run,
and you're a guy,
run! Don't do it. You in
There's a
danger.
reason.
You in danger. Go the
you
other
in
way.
danger, boy. You in
go
danger.
the other way.
Because most guys are like, ooh, enticing. I would love to see you in a bikini.
And you get
I
in
was like,
there.
Yes, we need to talk.
By the way.
We're breaking
But
up.
oh, did you have you broken up with somebody in a jacuzzi?
Not yet.
Damn, you're savage.
No, it's not savage. It's easing them in. It's like being kind.
It's like, hey, come on in. Look at me in a bikini. Oh, by the way, we're over.
So if you guys don't know, in my previous life, I was a siren.
What do you mean previous?
My previous life, because, I'm Hindu. I believe in multiple lives. But with love languages, we can cross over into many little things, but our primary love language is our primary love language. Like yours, you cross over into a little bit into acts of service.
Yeah.
You show love that way, like you buy all these tickets for your daughter and drive her here, there.
Yeah.
But your primary love language that you feel comfortable with is the affirmation.
The affirmations. You're right, because I guess there is times when I'm, every day I'm always hugging out my kids. I'm like hugging them. I know that's the physical touch, but I'm always telling them, oh, I love you and all. But looking back at my behavior, like when I want to show Sammy or the kids, Sebastian and Sage, or do something nice for them, it usually has to do with giving them something, like some kind of act of service. So, yeah, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
So
So everything does bleed into each other a little bit, but there's a primary one. And I think we talked about that in our
love
episode.
language.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And we do also adjust according to our significant other's love language, right? Like if you're
Well, yeah.
Right.
And then we should try to adjust according to our significant other's love
Yeah.
language, because that's the way it's gonna
yeah,
it's gonna work.
because for example, I'm
That's
very
the secret
uncomfortable-
to marriage
It
and
is.
relationships.
Yeah, because I'm very uncomfortable with words of affirmation. Like I am not a verbal person,
Corby,
right?
you're really
But-
great.
But that's your
Look at your face.
yeah.
You're like,
I'm really bad at that.
Really?
But yeah, but like if my significant other was always telling me, Purvi, I need you to tell me you love me all the time, I would do it. Even though I'm not comfortable with it, I would do it because that's what
you'd be
his
like,
love language is.
I love you.
Can I just write it?
I love you.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you.
Oh wow! I didn't know that. Why? What's wrong with you?
What? I'm just not a verbal person.
Yeah, you are.
Unless I'm bitching you out. Like emotionally, I'm just not a verbal person. I guess, and I think
Well,
I don't know.
I can see that. You're
Like
probably
I'll
more-
never go up to a guy and be like, "Hey, you know what? I like you, and this is how it's gonna go. This is the way it is." I'm not like that.
You would go up to a guy and go,
I would flirt or I would do something kind.
"How about to a random stranger?
If I
You
like
buy
it.
him a drink."
I wouldn't buy him a drink, but I would. Yeah, I mean, I'd flirt with him, and then if I got to know him, I would do something kind for him, like maybe buy dinner or something.
Some random person.
If we're on a date, like second date or something, yeah.
Your face.
I mean, I think we've covered in the last 20 episodes.
We
We've
did a
covered a
lot.
lot of topics,
And we still have a lot more to go in our
Yeah.
next 20. Are we going to make it to 40?
I think we wanted to make it to 100 from the last conversation we
You
had.
didn't want to. You said you
I didn't want to
couldn't
spend 100 episodes with you. That's 100 weeks.
Hey,
Shit.
you know what? I'm starting in episode 21 when I edit. I'm going to just edit all of you out and then just call it.
It's going to be you asking questions and not receiving responses
It's
back.
gonna, it's gonna be, hey everybody, it's me, Miley, and you're listening to.
Yeah,
I
and
wouldn't
then
do that
it's
to
just
you.
gonna be you, and then you're gonna be actually talking to me, but there will be no me responding back. So
I'd
it's
be
just gonna be
calling
like
you a bitch.
asking all the
No, I'd be acting as you. I'd be like, hey,
You
Forby.
can't be me.
Hey, Miley.
You
How
can't
you
be
doing?
me. You can't be me. You don't know
I
how to
can't
be
be.
me.
I can't fill in your shoes.
No, my shoes are hella big. I want to thank you for everything you've done and put into this podcast. Even though I have to chase you around, but
Yeah,
that's
you
okay.
do. You do.
But you're a
and
busy
then you
girl.
chase me around, and then you send me death threats.
I do.
Yeah.
You send me death
You tell
threats
me
too.
things like death of our podcast,
But
and I feel guilty.
But you said you like words of affirmation. I'm trying. This is how
You
I
know what?
give
That
it.
worked. It worked because I was like, holy shit, she said death of our podcast. I am enjoying it. I hope our listeners are enjoying it too.
Yeah. But we do, you know what? Despite whether you like us or not or whatever, we want topics. What do you want us to talk about?
Yeah.
Tell us. We'll talk about
Tell
anything.
us. We'll talk about it. If you want us to talk about
Except
Porby and her, you know what we need to do? We need to really get cracking with our social media.
We
on
do.
Instagram, because somebody asked me, they're like, you should put more pictures of what you guys are doing. I'm like, oh, creepy.
Yeah, we don't need stalkers, but we need topics.
We,
So if
we
you're
need
going
topics
through
and Ellen.
a divorce, separation, new love, old love, regrets,
Yeah.
whatever, just tell us. what
But
you
I
want us to
also
talk
like talking about just random stuff that's like in my psyche that particular week.
What's in your?
Like,
But you
I
don't have
started
that much in
watching-
your psyche.
Road. I started watching The Bachelorette again.
Oh Lord,
Yeah, there's no way Colton is.
how is
a
that shit not
virgin.
dead?
I know it's still going. It's still
Like
going.
none. Okay, the whole purpose of
Yeah.
Bachelor and Bachelorette was to find your significant
Yeah.
other and get married.
No.
Out of all those, I think one marriage survived.
There might
that
have
was
been
probably-
two.
Only one marriage I know is one that went through, and
It
they're
was.
still.
Oh gosh, I forgot her name.
Yeah. I
Her
don't
last name
remember.
starts with an R. Melissa something or other.
How is that an R?
Hey, you. Her last name. You got me. You got me, girl. You got me, girl. That was a good.
Her name starts with an R. Melissa.
I meant to say her last name.
I don't know. But yeah, so I stopped watching a long time ago. I don't have
Hey,
cable
let's.
anymore.
You
I'm
should
too
be.
po.
You should be the Bachelorette next time.
You know what?
Hey, let's have our own Bachelorette.
No, because you know what happens with the Bachelorette? I
They'll
mean,
just
I know I go in
tease
my
you.
jacuzzi with a boy, but this means I have to go with like 50 guys.
Yeah, you know that
And
was
not
one
only
of the
that,
things.
I have to be a whore about
Yeah,
it. And
when
that's
I-
disgusting.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I can't imagine like.
I don't even know how those guys like her after
I
she's
know.
been with other guys.
Well, you know,
Like,
they know what they're signing up for. We'll just do another version of the Bachelorette. It's the less
Like-
hoey version.
wh-
The
wh-
less
wh-
hoey version.
what version
with
is that?
Porby.
what version is that?
I'm
gonna
gonna
be-
have less bachelors.
I'm gonna have
and just
turtleneck
one
and
jacuzzi.
socks and gloves on in the jacuzzi.
And you don't give roses. You
No
just
roses.
like pass out.
I'm
like,
gonna give
tickets
black
to the jacuzzi.
roses. Why not?
That's girl.
Morbid.
Rude.
Sorry.
That's morbid. What's wrong with you? And you know what? We are. It is July. I can't say the date. But anyway,
Ninth-ish?
we're in July now. We're in July now, and it's the last half of the year.
Mm,
So, you know, Porby 2.0.
that's
You
not
gave
happening.
Don't say, you need to stop doing.
I mean, that's happening.
Yes, thank you. Anyway, no, this is fun. It was good. I think this is a good. We didn't have any topic in particular other than the fact that it's our 20th episode and we're enjoying ourselves.
Yep.
So probably we have to come up with we have to sum this up and I guess a good summary topic for what we just talked about just now is
Random shit of the day.
random shit of the day. I was going to be nicer and say something like, when you're having fun, you keep going. No, I know, lame.
Our thoughts
Our thoughts.
by Jack Handy. You remember? Remember SNL?
Random thoughts.
by Miley and Porvy.
Yeah. Miley and Barbie.
It sounded so
It
creepy.
sounded kind of creepy. What the hell is
We're a
wrong with
little
you?
bit creepy.
So now let's go have a drink.
All
Anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. You know how to reach us. That's what we said, pc@gmail.com. You know how to find us on our website. Please rate us. Please review us. If you know anybody who would like to advertise with us, that would be great. If your name is Ellen, please call us because we are waiting. Ellen, don't be shy.
And I also want to say hashtag FitTea is working for me.
Really? Hey.
Hey,
Fit
Fit
tea.
tea.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so Fit Tea.
Yeah.
There you go.
At my birthday
Advertisement.
party, I looked amazing.
You did look amazing. Your makeup was nice.
But that's not FitTea, but that's me.
I know, but your makeup,
But my body looked good too.
your makeup looked good. Your body was good. Your
Yes.
body was good too. It was good. Maybe I need to do Fit Tea
You too.
because I'm the unfit tea.
You are on FitTea.
I'm the opposite of unfit.
Fat tea.
Fat tea. Fatty trying. Anyway,
No,
thanks
just
for
kidding.
joining everybody. Bye. Me, 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 me.
Me, 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 me.
La, 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 la.
Fa la la la, fa la 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 la.
Sing what I sing, sing after me.
I'm
my
not a
echo.
follower. I'm a leader.
Being that fucking echo, man. It's just a fucking song.
I want to be your echo.